ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषु भिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Sri Paramatma Sandarbha, Anuchhed number 1, page 11. Sri JIva GosvamI is explaining that there are two types of kshetragya, the living entity and Paramatma, and he is explaining this in context of delineating the characteristics of Paramatma. So he referred to the two verses spoken by Jadbharat to King Rahugan. Kshetragya sva manasa vibhuti jivasya maya rachitasya nityah avirhita kvapi tirahita chas शुद्धो विचष्टे ही अविशुद्ध कर्तु। क्षेत्रज्ञ आत्मा पुरुषः पुराण साक्षात् स्वयं ज्योतिरजः परेश नारायणो भगवान वासुदेव स्वमाया आत्मन्य अवधीयमान। So we are studying the second of these two verses. Anybody has any question before you continue? Yes.
I have a thought process regarding modifications that appear during the waking and dreaming state and disappear during the sleep. So my thought process was, if I sleep I cannot do anything. If I'm in the dream state, not much. But if I would go from the awakened state to the sleep state and catch that transition, that gap,
And
in the transition from awake to sleep, catch that gap, would I go to Turiya, to the fourth state?
Try it. Why don't you try?
It's a question.
Make an effort. So there is one book called Vigyan Bhairav. You heard of that?
Vigyan, science. Science. Vigyan is science.
Yes, it is a science, but different science. So it is a famous book of Tantra, and it gives 112 techniques for meditation. And all the techniques are like this only, catching the gap. So you got the gap. So they will say that between one thought and another thought there is a gap. Even between one word and another word there is a gap. So they talk of this very much. And if you can get into that gap, then you will go into Turiya. But it's not easy. So jumping from one thought to another thought, it happens, you don't catch the gap. So what you have to do is watch the gap. You remember Purushottam Prabhu? Okay.
Chitra, she has a question. She said that I understand that Paramatma is present everywhere. He is not different than Bhagavan, but with a different function. So, practically speaking, what to do with this knowledge, and what should be my attitude towards Paramatma?
Just keep it to yourself. So this is to make you understand that you are not independent. That's what you have to do with it. Because usually the tendency is that we think that we are independent. Right? And we make independent plan for whatever, enjoying or reducing our suffering. So this knowledge teaches us that we are actually not independent. That's why we have Paramatma, which means he is the regulator. He is the supreme regulator. And everything is under his control. Anumanta, he is the Anumanta, he is the permitter. Without his sanction, it's not possible. So you have to keep this in mind. And that's a big job if you can do that. That will solve the problem. So he is the boss of Maya, and we are under the influence of Maya. So if we have to get out of the Maya, then we have to understand him.
About consciousness, the word conscious, it seems that there is different meanings according to the context. So it is said that we are conscious of our physical pain or pleasure, and it is said that the self, the Atma, is Chetana Tattva, the conscious principle, but we have seen that this Atma as such is not conscious of the suffering of the body. Is it right? So how to solve this?
So who told you that it is not conscious?
Not conscious, not even, the Atma as such, completely detached, is only spiritual. They don't know about the material. They don't feel the pain of the body, if I well understand.
Yeah, but that is when you disassociate yourself from the body, but when you are identifying with the body, you feel it.
So that means the jiva is feeling the pain and pleasure, the unit atma plus attachment.
Yeah.
This is not atma itself, but this agglomerates. No?
Yes. Yes. That's what is happening, that it has become one unit. That's why he says that he talked about upadhi, right? So upadhi means when you condition something, you superimpose. So you become one with it. So you cannot say that it's not experiencing. That's why he says, Shuddha vichasteya vishuddha karatu. That although he is pure, but he is looking and becoming absorbed in it. And becoming absorbed means then feeling it. Right? That's the meaning of absorption. So that is, as I said yesterday, that is for our analysis to understand that pure Atma is not having the pain inside it. It is outside. That is for understanding. But the thing is that at present that Atma is identifying with the Vibhuti. Mansa Vibhutir Maya Rachitasya Avirahita Tirohitasya. So that is what is happening. So it's difficult to say now that it's like if you put on a glove on your hand, then you touch something, so and you feel it is hot and cold, so are you touching it or you are not touching it? So you are not touching because actually there is a glove in between. But you are also feeling it. So it's something like that. So it becomes one unit. That is the meaning of conditioning or bondage. What you call as bondage in the heart or chijjad granthi, not hridaya granthi. So that is the granthi. Like when you tie two things together, they become one unit. Something like that. Yes.
In this section of the verse that you're speaking about now, jivasya is something distinct from the kshetragya here. So could you just clarify what is the meaning of jiva here, as it's not the kshetragya?
So jiva is when Atma becomes conditioned, that's what we call as jiva. JIva GosvamI actually wrote it. So it says, Sakhalu asau jiva nama swashwarir dvaya lakshana kshetrasya gyatritvat kshetragya uchyate. So he says that this jiva is called kshetragya because he is the knower aware of these two bodies. So what is different? We use the word Atma. So Atma refers to jiva without its conditioning. So jiva and Atma are one, but this subtle distinction is made. So jiva is the kshetragya Because pure Atma, as he was raising the point, is not involved. That when involvement is there, then he is kshetragya. So again, it is difficult to see it as two different things, because jiva is not something different from Atma. Jiva is Atma, but now is Atma who is under the influence of Maya.
So in this context then, could jiva, the word jiva in the verse, could be understood to just mean when the kshetriya sees itself in this condition of having identified with, in effect it's saying that.
Yeah. Anything else? Yes.
It is mentioned that in waking and in dream state, my mind manifests, and in deep sleep and samadhi unmanifest. Does it mean that in deep sleep, that more active intelligence and samadhi soul, respectively?
In deep sleep and samadhi?
That in samadhi, active soul and atma.
I did not hear properly. In samadhi,
Can you say who is active in state of samadhi?
who is active?
If mind unmanifested, non-active,
Active in what?
active means
Hmm?
in samadhi, person can be connected with the Lord because Atma can be directly.
So this samadhi which he is talking about, this is samadhi when one is free from thoughts, like as it is described in Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Chitta-vritti nirodha. You know the sutra? Yoga is chitta-vritti nirodha. So he says yoga is chitta-vritti nirodha, and yoga is same thing as samadhi there. Because later on he says yama niyama asana pranayam pratyahar dharana dhyana samadhi. That samadhi is the yoga. So this is the nirvikalpak samadhi. There are two types, savakalpaka and nirvikalpaka. So in nirvikalpak samadhi, there is no action, there is no thought process. All the chitta vrittis are brought, they come to an end. So then, tada drashtu swarupe avasthanam. Then the seer is situated in itself. Like when you are in deep sleep, you are not aware of anything, right? So you are situated in yourself. You are still alive. You are conscious being, but now your consciousness is not aware of anything. It's just there. It's not illuminating anything, not even itself. So the distinction between deep sleep and samadhi is that in samadhi you don't illuminate anything externally, but you illuminate yourself. So you are aware of yourself and not of anything else. In deep sleep you are not aware of yourself also. So it's like your consciousness is just like startled. It's neither going inward nor outward.
Like switch off.
It's not switch off, but there is no object for it to illuminate. It is not illuminating itself because of the influence of Maya, and external is not available to you.
You can compare this like in neutral position, like in active position, in waking condition, is mind active, and we can understand who we are. In samadhi, condition, we can understand our spiritual identity, but in deep sleep, like neutral condition, like
Yes.
we cannot
It's in neutral state.
not with that, not with material, not with spiritual.
Yes.
This nirvikalpa samadhi, that time Atma is conscious of itself. But in savikalpa, it will be conscious of Krishna.
Yeah, whatever you are meditating on.
And the second question which I was getting after reading is that primarily it is like seeing that wherever the mind is absorbed, mind gets absorbed 100% in whatever it is doing. It may switch very fast. Suppose seeing the mobile and then eating, but then it switches from one to the other. But then whenever the involvement is there, that is 100% kind of the mind. So if the whole process, as I have understood, is that you have to put your mind to Krishna or whatever you are meditating upon, and that is the thing. So then where is the factor of grace coming in this? If I have to put my mind, like, so can it be that if I keep trying and then one day I'll be successful, or where is the factor of grace? Like, because bhakti is, we say, is all grace.
So by grace it will happen, otherwise you will keep on trying. So when it happens, that is grace, and if it is not happening, then you are trying. Like Yashoda was trying to bind Krishna, right? She kept on trying. So where is the grace? Means she tied him. So same thing. So we have to also understand that mind, it keeps on wavering. That is the meaning of the word chanchala. When Arjuna says, chanchalam himana Krishna, chanchal means it's wavering. So even when it is going out from mobile to food, it's really not very fixed there. So therefore you can sometimes feel the intensity of absorption, less and more. Sometimes you are more absorbed, means wavering is less, and sometimes wavering is more, then you are not much focused. So focus is, it's like if something is written on the wall and you stand in front of it and you try to read it in small letters, and you are also moving your head left to right. To read it you have to fix your head in one place, right? But if your head is shaking left and right, you have that, sometimes people get this, what is it called? Parkinson? When their head shakes. So you have Parkinson's and you want to read on the wall. So it's difficult, right? And depending on what is the intensity of your Parkinson's, whether you are able to park yourself or not, so then accordingly you focus that much. So therefore that's why they make different stages of meditation. All this dhyan, then dharana, then samadhi. And what is the difference between them? The difference is actually intensity. Less and less wavering is happening. And then they make more divisions in it. So ultimate samadhi is when you are completely fixed. If it is nirvikalpak, then you are fixed in yourself. If it is savikalpak, you are fixed on the object of meditation. You become so deeply absorbed that you lose the distinction between yourself and the object of meditation. You cannot even make that much distinction. Because even to make that distinction, you have to have some wavering. So that is called Triputi Laya. Okay. Anything else? Okay, so we continue. We are studying the second of these two verses, and we are in page number 11. So Vasudevatvena sarvakshetragya gyatritvat swapro maya mohita jiva danyo maya rahita shuddha kshetragya atma paramatma. The other witness or kshetragya is distinct from the jiva because he is the knower or witness of all kshetras due to being Vasudeva. So this is the distinction now he is making between Atma and Paramatma. So Paramatma is knower of all kshetra. So kshetragyam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetresu bharata, as he will quote this verse very soon now. So he is the knower of all kshetras and Jiva is knower of only one kshetra. In contrast, the kshetragya described in the previous verse knows only its own kshetra. This means that the other supreme witness is distinct from the Jiva who is deluded by Maya. Being utterly free from the influence of Maya, this other witness is the pure kshetragya and the Atma. So Atma here refers to Paramatma. So in the second verse, the word Atma is used. Kshetragya Atma, Purusha Purana. So this Atma here refers to Paramatma, or the supreme immanent self. For these reasons also, the primary quality of kshetragya is found only in Paramatma. So although there are two kshetragyas, Jiva and Paramatma, now he says that the primary meaning of kshetragya is referring to Paramatma. So just like the word Atma, the primary meaning of the word Atma is actually in Paramatma. Although now commonly we refer Atma to the individual self, but its primary sense is Paramatma. Atatvat, matritvat, Atma hi, paramo hari. So Atma, At and Ma. So Atatvat, At satatya gamni dhatu, all pervasiveness, and matritvat, Ma, the source of everything, the creator. So he is the real Atma, Hari, Parama, supreme. But now it has become Rudhi in individual self. So therefore he says that this is the primary. For these reasons also, the primary quality of kshetragya is found only in Paramatma. Taduktam sarvam puman veda gunansya tajgyo na veda sarvagyam anantamede. So this is a verse spoken by Daksha to Lord Vishnu. So the verse actually, this is stated by Daksha, although a Jiva can know all these, the body, the senses and so on, as well as the gunas of primordial nature, he does not know the omniscient, unlimited Bhagavan, whom I worship. So Paramatma knows the individual self, the individual kshetragya, but not vice versa. The individual self does not know the supreme self. So that's what Daksha is saying. Deho svo aksho manvo bhuta matra natmanyanyacha vidu paramyat. So sarvam puman veda gunansya tajgyo na veda sarvagyam. So the puman refers to the individual self. He knows all these mind, senses, etc. and can also know the three gunas, but does not know the Sarvagyam, the omniscient Bhagavan, that he does not know. So he says that I worship him. So now he continues. So now he refers to Bhagavad Gita, because in Bhagavad Gita also these two kshetragyas are stated. Why is he doing this analysis? The point behind all this is that he wants to show very clearly that we should not confuse that we are also the Supreme Atma, because that is Advaitavad. So that's what he is going to refute their explanation. So they have not explained the Bhagavatam verses, but their commentaries, Advaitavad commentaries available on Bhagavad Gita, and how they interpret JIva GosvamI will show that that is not our understanding, and he will refute it. So in Sri Gita Upanishadsu, furthermore it is said in Gita Upanishad, idam shariram kaunteya kshetram ityabhidhiyate etadyo veti tam prahuhu kshetragyam iti tadvidaha kshetragyam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetresu bharata kshetra kshetragya yorgyanam yattas jnanam matam mama. This body, O son of Kunti, is called the field, kshetra, and one who knows it is called knower of the field, kshetragya. Simple. Idam shariram kaunteya kshetram iti abhidhiyate. So body is called kshetra. And etadyo veti tam prahu. One who knows this is called kshetragya. O Bharata, know, and those who have directly intuited both the field and the knower. O Bharata, know me also to be the kshetragya situated within all kshetras whatsoever. In my view, knowledge of the field and of these knowers of the field is what is meant by true knowledge. So in this 13th chapter, Krishna defines kshetra, kshetragya, knowledge and knowable. So this is what he defines in this. So now he says the first verse is not problematic. There is no need of interpreting it. Both parties, Advaitvadis and non-Advaitvadis, they agree that this says that one who knows kshetra is called kshetragya. But now the problem comes in the second one. So in the second, Krishna says, kshetragyam chapi mam vidhi. So now this is where the twist is. So what does it mean, kshetragyam chapi mam vidhi? You know Sanskrit? And it's not very complicated. Kshetragyam, dvitiya vibhakti ekvachan, cha mam. So he says, know me the kshetragya. Means I am the kshetragya. So what does it mean? That means this Atma is me. Isn't it? क्या बोलूं?
I am also the kshetragya.
Yeah, that kshetragya which is said in the previous verse, that also is me, not somebody else.
But then he says sarv kshetrasu.
Yeah, in all kshetras I am only existing. You get the point? Do you see?
But in the first he is saying tadvida. So two are there.
What to?
Kshetragya miti tadvida.
Yeah.
So that means
So those who know they say that one who knows the field is called kshetragya.
The first verse and second verse both uses kshetragya, but both are different kshetragya.
Yeah, but that's what you think.
Yeah.
It can be interpreted other way.
Cha is used here for that purpose.
Yeah, cha means that is also me.
But it's also the api.
Yeah, that also is me. And that kshetragya is also me only, nothing, no one else.
But cha will come only when there are two.
Cha is used in many ways. There are two, he is standing outside and he is saying, look, in these bodies, one who knows the body is called kshetra. And that kshetra, who is called kshetragya, and that kshetragya is also me. You understand? So kshetragya is there and I am outside standing here. And now I am saying that kshetragya in all these bodies is also me.
So why use the cha and api then? What's the reason for using
Just to stress, so that you don't make mistake.
That's the twist.
And cha means and, api means also. And that kshetragya also is me.
But you never use and also.
Why?
Together.
Alright.
When there are two, then only and also will come.
You can tell and also we use so many times. And he also went there. Purushottam Prabhu went to Loi Bazaar. And Alex also went there. And also. What you are saying?
Incorrect English, they say.
Is it incorrect?
That was customary usage.
It's very common usage. Purushottam Prabhu went to Loi Bazaar and Alex also. I don't even have to say also went to Loi Bazaar. I can say and Alex also. I can stop there.
So that means Alex is Purushottam.
No.
It cannot mean Alex is Purushottam.
No, that I'm giving an example. He said and also are not used together. That is the, and then why it is same is this. So you see how now learn little Advaitavad. People are unnecessarily jumping up and down without knowing the truth. So people think Advaitavad is just something in the air, you can refute it like that. See? It's right there in Bhagavad Gita. Idam shariram kaunteya kshetram iti abhidheyate. Idam means this. Krishna is pointing his finger to Arjuna's body. He says, this body which you have, this is called kshetra. And etad yoveti tam prahu kshetragyam tadvena. The one who knows this, the knower of this is called kshetragya. And that kshetragya is also me. Kshetragyam chapi mam vidhi sarv kshetresu bharata. In all the kshetras. What is the problem? Grammatically any problem?
We wouldn't need to say again, repeat this thing, it was original kshetragya in the first verse.
No, but he wants to now make it clear that that kshetragya is not different from me. Otherwise you will think that you are somebody and I am somebody, Krishna is somebody and you are somebody. He says, no, I am the kshetragya. And then later on, as you know, in this chapter it says, sarvata pani padatta, sarvata akshishiro mukham, sarvata srutiman loke, sarvam avitta tishtati. That he is everywhere hanging hands and legs. Why? Because he is the kshetragya. So his hands and legs are everywhere. His eyes and nose is everywhere. Why? Because it is he only who is in the form of this kshetragyas. And one who knows this, he has the jnana. And who does not understand this, that guy is total ajnani. He is ignorant. So first you understand the Purva-paksha, because Jiva Goswami is going to refute it. If you don't understand Purva-paksha, you will think, what is he doing? So you understand the Purva-paksha now, which seems like Uttar-paksha.
Purupakša is looking like Uttar Paksha.
Okay, everybody got the Purupaksha? Anybody any doubts about the Purupaksha? So now that's why earlier, I think it is in 7th chapter, where Krishna says, Jnani tu atma eva me matam. Udara sarva eva ete, jnani tu atma eva me matam. All these people, Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukritino arjuna artha jigyasu artharthi jnani cha. He says they are all generous people, udar, but jnani is my atma. Because jnani is the one who knows the truth. That the worshipper and worshipped are one. So he says, that's my very Atma. And therefore he says, Aham Atma Gudakesha Sarvabhut Asyasthit. He says, I am the Atma in everybody. In Vibhuti Yoga he says, I am the Atma. What more you want? Aham Atma Gudakesha Sarvabhut Asyasthit. What does it mean? Any complication in this? Aham Atma, I am Atma. Sarva Bhut Ashaya, in the heart of everybody, I am the Atma. He's saying the same thing here. Kshetragyam chapi mam vidhi, sarv kshetresu bharata. So now you understand, Aham Brahma Asmi. It's very clear. But these kinds of verses are very secretive. They are not understood by everybody. They need certain level of intellect to understand. Less intelligent people, they go for different interpretations. This is how Advaitvadis talk. He says, this is the rahasya of Shastra. In Bhagavatam, what is said in the end? In the end, what is said in the Bhagavatam? It says that Sarva Vedanta Saram hi Shri Bhagavatam Ishyate Brahmatmaikatva Vastu. That in this, the oneness of Brahman and Atma is Advityam Vastu, that it talks about the Advaitvada. Kaivalyam ek prayojanam, but Vastu adityam tannishtham Kaivalya ek prayojanam. Vastu advityam tannishtham Kaivalya ek prayojanam. Brahma atmaikatva lakshanam. Oneness of Brahman Atma. That is what Bhagavatam is. Okay, Prabhus. Shall we continue now? Is there any need? Give him the mic.
But in 12th chapter, Krishna repeats over and over again that Bhakta is dear to me. He doesn't say
to encourage
is dear to me.
To encourage the bhaktas.
Because we also say twice in 9th chapter and 18th chapter, he doesn't say you become jnani, he says you become my devotee.
That's what I'm saying. He is trying to encourage these poor bhaktas. Otherwise,
why is to emphasize that?
Because jnanis don't need such encouragement.
They are lost in Brahman only.
They are already situated in Gyan, and these poor bhaktas, they are sentimental type of people, so they need support. So this is emotional support which Krishna is giving. So he says, Jnani is bhakta is very dear, I am very dear to my bhakta, this, that. But actually, in secret places, he talks like this.
But in Bhagavatam, he also says only by devotion you can go to me.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's also emotional statement?
No. By performing bhakti, then you'll know how you are one with him. Because without devotion, nothing works. But ultimate thing is jnana. You have never met Advaitvadis. This is actually how they talk. Generally we think of Advaitvadis as some simple things and we try to refute some paper arguments. What they call paper tiger? No, they have very strong arguments. Okay, so now let's see what Jiva Goswami says here. So, atra khalu kshetragyam chapi mam vidhi iti sarveshu api kshetresu mam cha kshetragyam vidhi natu jima vima svashva kshetra eva iti artha. So, you see how he is giving the meaning. So, he says here in the statement, and know me also to be the kshetragya. The word and, cha, and whatsoever, api, are to be syntactically applied as follows. And in all fields whatsoever, you should know me also to be the kshetragya. So this is just a little twist and it changes the meaning from black to white. Just a little twist. It can make you Advaitvadi or it can make you devotee. I am not like the Jiva whose knowledge is restricted only to its own individual field. This alone is the intended meaning of the statement. So he says this is the meaning and now he will give arguments why only this meaning is possible. Because other party will say, well, this is not what it means. Meaning is what we have spoken earlier. How you say that this is the only meaning. So he speaks. Nacha jiveshayoho samanadhikaranyena nirvishesha chidvastueva gyataya nirdashati sarvkshetresu iti asya vairthyapatti. By pointing out that both Ishvara and the individual self have a common substratum, i.e. that they both share the characteristic of being knowers of the field, Krishna here is not indicating that the substantive reality to be known, that is the knowable jheya, is consciousness alone devoid of all attributes. So this is Advaitvad premise that what you have to know is just Brahman, which is consciousness, nirvishesh chidvastu, means consciousness without any varieties in it. So he says, no, that is not the meaning. So why is that? If that were the case, the phrase within all kshetras would be redundant. So then there was no need of saying sarva kshetresu bharata. This is what Jiva Goswami says. If he meant that I am and that kshetragya is also me, then he says sarva kshetresu bharata was not needed. He should have said that I am the kshetragya and I am the knower of the bodies. So why is that? Jayam yat tat pravakshami ityadina sarvata pani padattat sarvata akshishiromukam ityadina cha savishesha seva nirdeksha manatvat. So why? Because later on Krishna says that Gayam yat tat pravakshami yajgyatva mokshe subhat, that I am going to speak to you what is the jheya. And then in the next he says sarvata pani patat, that everywhere he has hands and legs. So now when he says everywhere you have hands and legs, and I also gave this argument to you. So he says that gyayam yattat pravakshami yajgyatva amritam ashnute, that I am going to speak to you what is jheya, and by knowing that you will relish immortality, means you will become liberated. And what is that? Anadimat param brahmana sattana saduchyate. That is Brahman, which is neither sat nor asat, and it is beginningless, and it is under me, mat param. And then he says sarvatah pani padam tat. So Tat refers to whom? Brahman. Because Tat is a pronoun and it refers to the noun which was used in the previous verse, Brahman. Anadi mat param brahma. Right? Na satta na sad uchyate. You cannot call it sat or asat. So that has got everywhere hands and legs. So therefore these hands and legs are not referring to the kshetras. This is referring to tat. These are not the hands and legs of material bodies. So that's why Jiva Goswami says here that sarvatah pani padam tat sarvato akshi shiro mukham ityadina cha savisheshasya nirdekshya manatvat. When he is explaining who is the jheya, then he is referring to the jheya as savishesh, not nirvishesh. Because nirvishesh is not going to have hands and legs. So that means there is no possibility of Jiva and him being as one. Because Jiva does not have his hands and legs everywhere. Moreover, the knowable jheya is pointed out in the same chapter of the Gita as being specifically inclusive of attributes. This is indicated in Gita 13:12. I shall now describe that reality which is to be known, jheya, and in the Gita 13:30 that Supreme Knowable has hands and feet everywhere with eyes, hands and faces all around. So, first of all, I am going to describe to you as that knowable jheya. So if he is going to describe something which is knowable, that you cannot describe anything as knowable which does not have qualities. Anything which is knowable, anything which is the vishaya, the object of your knowledge, that cannot be nirvishesha. Anything which is nirvishesha, everybody understand this word nirvishesha? Anyone who does not understand? Nirvishesha means who does not have any characteristics, any qualities, form, etc. That is called nirvishesha. So anything which is nirvishesha cannot be knowable, cannot be the object of your knowledge. Why? Why is that? Janua. Why is it?
Because you cannot describe it.
Because it is, whenever you describe anything, you describe it with its qualities, form. If something does not have a form, something does not have a quality, how would you describe it? If you have to describe a cow, a human being, a potato, a tomato, or anything, a table, then you describe it with its color, form, shape, qualities. But if I say there is an object, it has no form, it has no qualities, it has no divisions in it, how will you describe it? There is no way. How would you know it? Anything when we know with our mind and our senses, we always know something which has characteristics. So the very fact that Krishna says that Gyayam yattat pravakshami yas gyatva amritam ashnute, by knowing which you will relish immortality. So that means that jheya cannot be nirvishesha. Right? Otherwise, Krishna does not know what he is talking about. Because anybody who knows what nirvishesh vastu means will not say that it is jheya. It is the object of knowledge, it is knowable. He would not say that. It's not possible. So therefore even in Vedanta Sutra when you say athato brahma jigyasa, So that Brahman cannot be nirvishesha. Because you cannot have a jigyasa for something which is nirvishesha. Nobody is ever going to have curiosity about something which has no form or no qualities, no characteristics. It is not possible that inquisitiveness cannot enter in your mind about something. Whenever you are inquisitive about something, it must have some characteristics. So, second thing is that anything which has name has to have some quality. So, and then he refers to the next verse where he says everywhere he has hands and feet. So here, if he has hands and feet, that means he is savishesha. He is not formless. He is not qualityless. Right? So, amanitvam ityadina jnanasya cha tatha updekshamanatvat. Again in Gita 13.7 to 11, knowledge too will be defined in precisely the same manner. So, knowledge too is of a substantive inclusive of attributes and not that of unqualified. So, Krishna also, as I said that in this chapter, Krishna describes what is kshetra, what is kshetragya, what is jnana and what is jheya. So when he describes what is jnana, of course one thing he said that jnana means to know kshetra and kshetragya. Right? But later on also he says that Janma mrityu, what it says, indriyarthesu amanitvam adambhitvam ahimsa kshantirarjavam acharya upashanam shaucham stharyam atma vinigraha indriyarthesu vairagyam anahankara evacha janma mrityu jaravyadhi dukkha dosa darshanam asaktir anabhishvanga putradara grihadishu nityam cha samchittattvam ishtanishtoppattisu mai cha nanna yogena bhaktiravyavicharini विविक्त देश सेवितम अर्तिर जन संसदि अध्यात्म ज्ञान नित्यत्वम तत्व ज्ञानार्थ दर्शनम एतस् ज्ञानमिति प्रोक्तम अज्ञानम यत् ततोऽन्यथा. So this he says is jnana. Now here there is no such thing as nirvishesha. None of this thing can apply to anything which is nirvishesha. In fact, whenever you say that I want knowledge about something, then knowledge obviously refers to something which has vishesha in it, which has qualities, which has form, which has characteristics, actions. Yes? Can give me.
So, regarding the second argument which JIva GosvamI uses, so what if some Advaitadis would say that the knowable could be described by referring to identity consciousness between the jiva and the knowable? I mean, in a sense that we could describe the knowable by referring to consciousness, which is the same quality of that is present in jiva as well as in the knowable absolute reality.
So what is consciousness?
What is consciousness?
So what is it? Is it a quality or is it a dravya? Is it a substance?
Well, probably wouldn't say it's a quality.
So what is it? Because anything, any word will be either a substance or a quality or an action or a class. A word cannot have any other meaning besides these four meanings. Any word you think of, either it will refer to an object, substance, or a quality, or an action, or a class. So now when you say consciousness, I am asking you in which does it fall?
Probably in the first one.
Dravya, substance.
It's a quality.
Quality? No, I'm asking him. You keep quiet. He's saying something else and you're saying something else. So where would you classify it?
Well, I think, I'm not absolutely sure, but I think to the first one, to the dravya, because even though we say that consciousness is like a quality of the soul, but we cannot really distinguish the jiva and consciousness. It's like
Okay, now if you say that it is a dravya, it is a substance, then all dravyas have qualities. There is no dravya who does not have a quality. So then it must have a quality also. Substance and qualities go together. There is no quality without substance. There is no substance without quality. So as soon as you say that it is a dravya, it is a substance, that implies it has qualities. So then it is not nirvishesha. Yes? Okay. But good question. Can you give the mic?
Nirvishesha itself it seems to be self-defeating word because nirvishesha it's a quality of not having quality.
But that is not called as a quality. You are just assuming that. You are just giving a name to something which does not exist. It's like something which does not exist. You say, well, that non-existence is also an existence. That's what you are saying. So it's just a word jugglery, nothing more than that. Because you have to think, okay, what does it refer to? What is the referent? You say it is a qualities. So what does it refer to? And you say, not having quality. Yes.
In this chapter, the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna indicates his form by mentioning his legs and his limbs are everywhere. But he doesn't mention anything about Atma, the Jiva. Does it indicate that Jiva, the Jiva's form is not inherent, the spiritual form?
Why should he talk about Jiva's form here? He is talking about jheya, knowable. Knowable is not Jiva, knowable is Bhagavan. He is not giving a discourse on Jiva here. The point here is what is to be known. So he says what is to be known is that Paramatma or Bhagavan, that absolute reality, which he says Anadimat Param Brahma na sattana saduchyate, that is to be known.
But we also say my legs are everywhere, but your legs are just here. You would say that.
Whose legs are?
Let's say it says, my legs are everywhere, my hands are everywhere.
My means who? Whom are you referring to?
The Kshatriya, the Paramatma.
Yeah.
Then he would indicate also that, in contrary, your legs and hands are just looking at one.
Your means who?
Means Atma.
Yeah, Atma has no legs. There are no legs to Atma.
There's no indicate. Okay, so it doesn't indicate no spiritual form here. There's no suffix, no product.
No, Atma does not have a form. Read Bhagavad Gita 2nd chapter. Did he say anywhere Atma has a form? He didn't say anywhere. All things which he speaks are mostly in negative. He does not take birth, he does not die, he does not grow, he does not cut into pieces, he cannot be wet, he cannot be this, he is not manifest, it's none of these things. He cannot be thought of, achintya. Everything Krishna speaks of Atma is in negation. The only positive thing he says about Atma is that it exists. Right?
But we know yesterday we talked about the two different bodies that Atma is engaged to. It's Sukshma and Sthula, right?
Yeah, but those are material.
In material world. But
Yeah, those are the material bodies.
But there's also spiritual body.
Yeah, but I don't know what is your question. What are you getting at?
I'm just trying to understand.
I'm lost.
If there is any hint of spiritual body.
No, but that's not the topic here, my dear sir. That's what I'm saying. Why are you trying to bring something which is not the subject matter? The subject matter here is that there is a Paramatma. And some people think that Paramatma and Atma are one. So then he is referring to Bhagavad Gita and he is showing that they are not one. Subject here is not spiritual form or no form. It's not the topic. So in Bhagavad Gita also, 13th chapter, this is not the subject of bringing spiritual form. And here also JIva GosvamI, subject is not spiritual form of Atma. So there is no point in talking about that. That's digressing from the subject. Can give the mic to him if you are finished.
So this second argument of JIva GosvamI is, I think, more or less clear. But coming back to the first one, in which he says that the phrase within all kshetras would be redundant. So I'm not sure if I understood why would it be redundant.
Because when everybody in every body there is a kshetra, kshetragya, right? And then he says, I am also kshetragya. So when he says, I am also kshetragya, it is understood that kshetragya of all the body. Because what is defined as kshetragya? One who is in our kshetra. Right? So if you understand that in every body there is one kshetragya, and then someone else says, I am also kshetragya, so obviously he is not referring to his own body. That is for everybody. So he refers then in all this body, he is also kshetragya.
Okay, so that's why these two verses of Gita are presented together, I guess, so that we can frame.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you cannot see this just one verse independently. So that together. Anything else? Okay, so is it clear now? So we will continue to next class. You will continue this for some time because this is a very important topic. This oneness of Jiva and Brahman is important, so he will spend some time on this, explaining it. So take a break.